guys, excuse my accent. This is the first time I'm doing something like this. English is not my first language. Anyway, if you follow me, you probably know that I joined the famous webtoon contest. If you follow me and you had no idea, I made a couple of videos on TikTok and one here promoting, or at least trying to promote, my comic with not much of success. The algorithm kinda hates me, or maybe, but really it's just a small feint of chance that my inconsistencies might have an alarming place in this, but I wouldn't bet on it. Moving on, one chapter is already out. The title is done for. If you feel like checking it out, you can do that and get back to this video where I explain almost everything. I don't know. I feel like I need to talk about some rules regarding today's contest. I need to upload at least 3 chapters by May 15th, which is not too bad, except each chapter has to be at least 40 panels. That's a minimum of 120 panels total. Right now I've completed 1 chapter, uploaded on March 16th, and I even overachieved by not 10, not 15, but 1 panel. Which means I need to finish 2 chapters, 80 panels, in 23 days now. Yeah. That sounds like a reasonable amount of time, right? With my schedule, that's about 10 actual days of work time maximum. It isn't much, unfortunately, but hopefully I will manage it and even pass my exams. Believe me, everything that could go wrong has gone wrong in the last 3 years or 4. Yeah. Thanks to school, I was a total mess of stress up until now. Recently it's been somewhat manageable. Finally finished my school project for my finals, all last night pieces left here and there. This you can chill because that's what I need to study. Because remember, shit make things worse. We got another most vicious teacher ever to compose our final exam. I'm dying inside, also failing one of my classes. And probably thinking I was just fucking. No, because everybody's failing in that class.
Every single one of them.
And they are not done like me, and now just talk about school like parent. Just for this, because I was completing one of my classes this half of the semester, and I need at least 3 tests, also 3 days left from school, and we have together on 1 day, and I have no idea how I will write 3 tests in 4 hours, and the last one is plus something. Everyone else, wish me luck. I know starting a big project like this contest might seem like a weird choice in the middle of all this, but for me, it's like a tiny light at the end of the very, very stressful tunnel, sort of plan A. Yeah, I said that, plan A. And not gonna lie, 6 figures seems very, very motivating for me, because working 2 jobs, which I do, is exhausting, especially if it's not my cup of tea. In return, I don't make much in a month. If it wasn't for my school schedule, I could do better, but that's what I have, that's what I'm working with. But eventually, I would like to do something that I would actually enjoy, and the opportunity just arrived with this contest. Why wouldn't I give it a chance, right? The first time I heard about this contest was in December. I was excited. Then I read the rules and saw that 40% of the scoring is based on engagement. Totally understandable, don't get me wrong, but also I haven't had much success on the field. A little inside, I am posting on TikTok since 2023, so that kind of shook my confidence. Plus, I know there are tons of amazing artists and writers out there, and I don't really stand out in either category. I also don't have the famous part. I admit, I'm still like, what if I'm just wasting my time? But you know what? Even if it doesn't go anywhere, at least I tried. Even if I don't win, I will gain experience. And that counts or something, I guess. In winter break, I made up my mind. I started working with some concept art. I wrote down a few personality traits, bits of backstory, and some early visual references for the characters. This phase of just figuring out when I could work on this and my project, and also not falling behind in school, took me like 3 weeks until I managed to move on to the next part with my comic. On the 14th of January, I began working on the cover art. Finished it in just 3 days, surprisingly quickly. Then I started to write the script. You should probably start with the script when you are planning on making a comic or a book or anything. That's just advice from me, which I don't really follow, because I'm stupid. Initially, the genre was horror because I was influenced by shows that I was watching at the time. Then later I changed the theme because I figured that's not what I'm aiming for. My characters can't achieve their full form in that genre, so I shifted towards fantasy. The names were already logged in during the concept phase. Valan, Rage, Sona, and Isaac, our 4 main characters. Then there is a +1 who will show up a bit later in the story. Not really a spoiler, so I will just say it. His name is Pango, and he's a dog. We also have 2 side characters, Luis and Mickey, so that gives us a solid cast of 7. I'm gonna be honest, I have never worked with that many characters or even worked with any character. Okay, that was a lie because I already have 1 webtoon. The title is Yasha. It's about a young adult figuring out life, but I finished after 6 chapters and I have no idea if I ever will get back to it because all my data, all my scripts, all my drawings, everything is on my previous tablet and I forgot my password. And no one can help me with that. I swear it was a P, but it does not work and I can't do anything about it. Back on track, the story starts with showing the format of the events, which I plan on stretching for 2 chapters, maybe. The 3rd one is where the real business will unfold. I'm trying to make the first 2-ish, 3-ish chapters funny. I'm not really a funny person, I'm just trying to imitate it. It's kinda cringe. It is cringe, a bit. Anyway, The summary stuff happens, and the group meets in the hotel elevator. Total strangers just trying to catch the sunset view from the top floor, something that was recommended by the hotel staff. Everything's chill until the elevator stops between two floors. They are still calm, a little upset, then the elevator drops. When the door is open again, they find themselves in a dark, eerie, creepy place that is clearly not on the brochure. The elevator doesn't work, phones are useless, no signal, no Wi-Fi, nothing. They are like, alright, maybe we are in the basement. And with some skeptics decide to find the stairs and head back up. But as they wander deeper into the corridors, they realize something is wrong. They are not in any basement, they are in a place where things you only see in fictions are not just the wildness of the mind, but is actually real. At least here, where they stuck. Weird creatures, rules that don't follow logics, and surroundings that keep changing. As they fight to survive, they quickly became emotionally and physically dependent on one another. Because honestly, who else do they have? But here is the twist. They start discovering the advantages of this place. Spoiler, they don't feel hunger, they don't get thirsty, they don't even get tired. It's not a paradise, it's just unnerving. A place where you always are alive, always on the edge. My story doesn't promise every question will be answered. It's more about how they cope, the decisions they make, the emotional scars they carry, and how these complete strangers end up becoming working together, making the somewhat hopeless situation more enjoyable and fun. I'm trying to catch the fun side of the story, and also there will be a lot of drama, referring to the past and present, so that's what you should expect from it. I would also like to point out this is a young adult series, so yes, except some cussing, alcohol,
Emotional, damn it!
depression, death, blood, touch of 18 plus tensions. But nothing over the top. It's not a mature category. It's just about real flawed adult characters in a situation. Obviously in webtoon settings. And hopefully I won't get taken down because a bit of blood or alcohol or anything that involves this category. I'm trying to be very, very discreet and, smooth about the stuff. And now that we are here, I just realized I talked about everything but the characters. So let's just do a quick check. Zalam, he's a web designer and quite the flower around the queen bees. Extremely rich, but not the kind of jerk that you would imagine. He's sarcastic and blessed with a dark sense of humor. In contrast of his huge ego, somewhat the most realistic species ever. The only way you will catch him without his mostly pink clothes, and he's forced by the boss to put on more work-appropriate outfits for corporate events, which usually turns into a disaster anyway. He was in the hotel for a business trip. Next, Rage. He's a YouTuber from a squad with 10 million subs. They do a lot of challenges together, which is how he ended up in this luxurious hotel, while the other teammates in the cheap one. He's short with 170 centimeters, about 5'8". He constantly gets teased for his height. He's fine with it, but secretly wishes he was taller. He's positive and conventionally funny, a born extrovert who can easily find the connection with pretty much everyone. A little sly, and always have a backup plan for everything. And for every challenge, if you know what I mean. Next, Sona. She is working at the hotel as a receptionist. Beforehand, she studied law in a university, but couldn't finish her major due to discrimination of her looks, which is connected to her gender, a female. But don't worry, her pride can be crushed easily. She is very arrogant and also not very forgiving. Seems and proceeds. Smart and logical on the outside, but a hot mess inside and the outside. Ooh la la. She isn't much of a team player, but softens in good company. Next, Isaac. He's homeless. Life on the street forced him to adapt quickly, making him street smart and incredibly smart. Sharp, finally. Well, he's intelligent in general. He would be a billionaire by now if it weren't for his bad temper, which resources from untreated anger issues and childhood traumas. He's quick to snap and often resorts issues physically. One day a strange woman approached him, no judgment, no pity, just a plane ticket and a hotel reservation for 2 weeks. He took the offer, that's how he got to the hotel. After a few drinks, he became almost likable, which he hates, but can't really help. Without booze, he would probably be off by now. Next. Pongo. He's a dog. A useless guard dog. His only job is to be protective, and he absolutely sucks at it. Sucks at it. No success. His family basically dumped him at the hotel, hoping someone would deal with him. He's the definition of nonchalant. Well, I think that sums up the characters without my spoilers. So yeah, that's the word, that's the squad, and that's the beginning of the story I'm entering into the webtoon contest.
Since then, all 3 chapters are out. I recorded the voiceover in April, so some of the info might be a bit outdated. I'm running a bit late, it's currently May 11, and I just uploaded chapter 2 with 50 panels. Honestly, I'm really happy with it because I finally got to introduce Isaac and Sona. Right now it's May 11 again. I still have 40 panels left to finish in just 4 days. Not gonna lie, I'm not sure if I can make it. It would be so much easier if I didn't have to color everything, or I could just switch up my art style. I'm actually kinda sad about it because I really don't think I will finish in time. But I'm not giving up. May 12. Well, my chapter just got removed. Why, you ask? Because of nudity? What nudity, may I ask? I have seen worse on here. and I genuinely don't think mine was bad. I cropped out everything. I was super confused, so I asked for help, and a very kind Webtoon staff member helped me pinpoint the exact panels that were an issue. I corrected them, but that led to another problem, because you're not supposed to edit chapters after uploading. Thankfully, I get a quick answer. She said it's still eligible, but also sent me a short list about what could get me banned, and editing was one of them. I figured out another plan. If somehow this Webtoon wouldn't count because I edited it, there is going to be a backup version for this. So basically I upload this Webtoon 2 times, because it wasn't specified how many entries you can have. May 13th. I cannot make this up. I even lost a follower. I'm down 4 from 5. Guys, the title is becoming real. It cannot be that cringe. Oh my god. It's so hard to upload. It's so hard, because I am changing on my own word. When I try to read it, and sometimes I'm like, oh, okay, that's good, I like it. And then the other time I'm like, what the fuck is that? I don't want to associate with this. It's not me. Guys, some jokes are corny. That's just my humor. I'm crying. Please kill me. May 14th. Real story didn't exactly start in chapter 3, but we are definitely getting closer. I focused on finally bringing all 6 characters together, and some of them already know each other, which helps build their relationships faster. Also, I've been thinking about changing the art style once they enter the down. Not set in stone, just an idea. Maybe I do a poll on it. I'm just literally brainstorming at this point, even if we have a future. May 15th? I made it, guys. I officially finished the contest, around 130 panels in total. After uploading this, I'm going straight to sleep. Right now it's May 16th. I couldn't sleep, but I had some time and I redesigned chapter 1. Since I can't update the original upload, I'm thinking about creating a Patreon and posting it there for free. Let me know what you think about that idea, and also about everything else in the comments. Check out Dumb4 and my other socials. Thank you for listening. Adio.